All right, so the Bulldogs went down to Csun in Northridge, and they had an 18-point deficit. A theme that we've seen a lot during Wahlberg's time, big deficits like that. And lo and behold, they actually did have the chance to get a win until the guy who had made a free point all year long for the Matadors got a hit when the Bulldogs up 87-86, and somehow got the win. And again, it comes down to Zay calls. If he had just gone to the free throw line and made his one and done, missed the front end 9 seconds ago, Bulldogs won't win that game. I mean, it's a similar story we've seen for most of the losses outside of Arkansas, where, yes, they're better than last year, kind of had to be, but they're still making a lot of mistakes that they should not be making. Missing free throws, turning the ball over far too much. I mean, they were down 45-27 with 3:21 left before halftime. I mean, it's the turnovers again. I mean, Robert keeps saying it. They had like 5 turnovers in the first 4 minutes. I mean, this is middle school crap, all right? This should not be a coach telling you this, okay? At this point, that's just you as a player being really careless with the ball. And we so far have a lot of careless players with the ball, and it's going to kill Wahlberg. I mean, I know that it sounds like classy based on a recent interview that he's going to stay the course, keep him around at least for the short term. But I don't know, man. If they lose games in conference this year this way, you have to wonder. The coach has to take some blame at some point for just really being stupid. And that's a shame about Collins. Isn't that field goal? He had 24 points. Goalie had 19. Double by Jacques. 10 points, 10 rebounds. I mean, it's another thing where the Bulldogs. Now again, they should have won. All right, should not have been down as much as they were to Csun. And then you had the game practically locked up, and you just got to make your front half of 1-1. You do win. They don't get a chance for that 3-point play. Make them both. It's a 4-point game. So they finish non-conference play 6-5. Again, better than last year, but still very disappointing because of what could have been. And it's not just Wahlberg. Numerous basketball teams saw similar formula to Judson Hudson. And you're waiting for this basketball program to get over the hump and stop doing these stupid things. All right, so we'll see what they do. They get a few days off before they host UNLV on the 20th for the first conference home game, and they get a lot of days off afterwards. So see how they look after the practice. On a positive note, though, the crown jewel of the athletic department, in my opinion, the team that's gone 2 straight Mountain West titles and hopefully making the first shot like Boise did in football is the baseball team. They have announced their schedule. It's a really good schedule. Ovi is not afraid of playing tough teams. They start off with Utah, a 4-game set on February the 13th. Then they host Pepperdine for a 4-game set on the 20th. Then they go to Stanford for a 3-game set on the 27th of February. Then they host Sacramento State for the first midweek game on the March 3rd, Tuesday. Then they go to Arizona, 3-game set on March 6th. Then they go to Cal Poly, who was really good last year. We'll see how they look this year on Tuesday the 10th. Then the last schedule for the Mountain West, one thing you need to know about Mountain West, the schedule this year is that except for one series to end the year against San Jose State, they only play everybody once. All right, that's big. And I'll show you why in a minute. Then they start conference playoff with Nevada on the 13th at home. Glad we don't. So then they go play Csun at home on the 17th. Then they go to Utah Tech for a 2-game set Thursday, 19th to 20th. Then they host Long Beach State Monday, 23rd. Then they go to New Mexico on the 27th for a road trip there. Lobo Land, not real baseball, all right? They only get one set against them, and that slip in Fresno was huge in getting that 2 spot last year. This year, we're only going to face them there. Then they host Cal Poly on the 31st. Then they go host Grand Canyon, I believe on what is Easter weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday on the 2nd. Looks like it based on how they scheduled it. But who knows, might just be a private Christian university thing. Only time that we're going to play a regular season series against Grand Canyon as a conference member. Then they go to Sacramento State on the 7th. And then they go to Air Force on Friday the 10th. Again, midweek, weather can really be really bad there. Air Force is just as bad as Mexico in terms of pitching, altitude, and so forth. So the Bulldogs have 2 series where at home they won and were huge for getting that second spot. This year they face Air Force and New Mexico once on the road. So They win series the next little pretty good, although messes them up usually all times. But Air Force last time I went there was just pure brutality, just awful. So those two are ones I circle and say you have to come out as a win. You have to, because you're not playing them at sea level. All right, so let's go back here. Then they host Bakersfield on the 14th. That's a midweek game. Then they host San Jose State for a 2-game series on the 17th and 18th. They play the Spartans later, just so you know. Then they host UC Davis on the 20th on Monday. Long Beach State, they go there next day on the 21st. Then they host San Diego State for a 3-game set on the 24th. Then they go to Csun for a midweek game 29th. Then they go to Washington State, who is the Mountain West winner in baseball last year and this year. Will be in the pack as well on May 1st. So they're going to go Cougarland only once. Then they host. Then they go to Bakersfield on May 5th. They host UNLV on the 8th, 9th, and 10th for the last regular season weekend in Mountain West play for the Bulldogs. Last regular season midweek game is going to be Cal Poly again for a third time, 3 times, Tuesday, May 12th. And they finish off with a series at San Jose State, starting on Thursday the 14th before the Mountain West tournament starts in Sloan Park. All right, so what do we take from the schedule? Well, every series is going to be crucial. I mean, in the Big West for a long time, a lot, and in these other conferences, you only play teams once a year in a series. This year, the Mountain West, outside of San Jose State, as I just listed, they're going to be once a, to me, if you were to say what's the most crucial series, again, New Mexico and Air Force, because so many teams have trouble playing them. Not just Fresno State. I mean, if you can get a series win at either of those places, that bumps you out, especially since you only played them once. All right, you host Nevada at home. That'll be a big series. They've got a new manager. But they also have a lot of new talent. On paper, they'll probably be the team picked to win it for obvious reasons. But the Bulldogs have played Reno well at home. So, again, that's another one. Those are my top 3 series you have to win against Fresno State. And what really matters in the Mountain West is not the regular season title. It's getting into one of the top 2 seeds like the Bulldogs did last year. Should have won the regular season title last 2 years. They did it through their own mistakes, but they managed to power win. What really matters is that is the Mountain West tournament. In terms of raw talent, I expect the Bulldogs to be able to do it. I think Ovi really wants to hammer this team into shape against the likes of Stanford, Arizona, Utah. But one thing you notice is that most of those out-conference series are against former Pac-12 teams. Arizona, Utah, Stanford. Stanford is interesting. Stanford would never play Fresno at all in any regular season in any sport. Now they are willing to do so, which to me says that the administration knows they're going to be playing Fresno State a lot in the future. Now, it's common wisdom, rightly willing, that Stanford will eventually come back off Cal. I believe they will eventually be forced to as well, along with other teams, and this is just their way of getting their people used to it, also playing a couple away and home game against Fresno State, starting in, I think, 27 or 28. So we're going to see the Cardinal a lot in a lot of sports. Could see the Utes in Arizona as well, hosted BYU last year. But this is a really exciting baseball schedule. A lot of new talent, but a lot of pitching should also return because we just had so many of them injured last year. Vic Ariola, Jake Riding, Drew Townsend, Tom Patrick stepped in. This team could be better than people expect. A lot of new talent, but again, really talented team. But we'll find out in February when it gets started. For now, basketball and football got to keep us going. Go Dogs.